We're continuing on with our discussion of terms in our text, and the next term we're going to come across is a term called market failure and government failure. Market failure and government failure. Have you ever, maybe yourself, or you've overheard a conversation where somebody says, man, the price of that is just too high. I mean, somebody's really ripping somebody else off. They shouldn't charge that much. Have you ever heard something like that before? No? I kind of hear stuff like that. It reminds me of a situation quite a long time ago, as a matter of fact, called the Currency Wars, C-U-R-R-E-N-C-Y, the Electric Current Wars. This very fierce dispute between a fellow from Ohio named Thomas Edison and an immigrant from Europe. I forget the country, Turkey? No, I forget what, Belgium? Something like that. A guy named Tesla. And Tesla thought it would be a better idea, rather than following Thomas Edison's idea of electrifying the entire world with direct current. And direct current is like what you have in your car. You got a battery, and it comes from the negative side, and it goes through all the way around back to the positive side. It flows directly around and around and around she goes. And he was saying, no, because you have big cables, and it takes a lot of power, and they heat up, and you got a lot of line loss. It'd be better if you just kind of shift it back and forth. You go shift, 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 shift. You get the electrons going this way, and then you let them go this way, and then you go this way, and this way back, about 60 times a second, called 60 hertz. And we could transmit power a whole lot more efficiently with alternating current rather than direct current. It's called the Currency Wars. Now, I'm raising that situation up there because that battle was going on, and America was becoming electrified. And of course, a lot of bad things happened. We had these trolleys that ran on electricity, and we had these cables, and we weren't really good at grounding things, and the poor horses took a beating because they had metal hooves. I'm getting electrocuted when they step in the wrong spot with all the trolley stuff. We weren't really all that experienced with it, but we got better. But anyway, the first thing that happened is that, well, if you're going to set a power station here, wherever you can string some wires, you've got a customer and you're going to make money. And you go put another telephone pole, put some power there, and you got another one. And then across the street, you can go over there. So about every 20 yards, at least, or shorter than that, or 10, 15 yards, something like that, you can have another customer. That's cool. So the people in the city were getting access to electricity. Rather than have an ice box, they now have an electric refrigerator that keeps things cold, which is a whole lot better than carrying the ice back around and forth. And they had indoor plumbing, hot and cold running water, and flush toilets. The world's really, this is big news. Flush toilets, that's cool. But only the city had flush toilets. You get way out in the boondocks in the countries, and, well, they don't have electricity. How come? Well, it takes a whole lot of telephone poles, and it takes a whole lot of cable to get one more customer. That's an expensive proposition. So the city's got electric, and the people in the country didn't get electric. Now, my question is that fair? You're not going to answer because you don't have to, but, and it's a rhetorical question. If you were living in the country, you say, well, it's not really fair. The people in the city get the electricity. I'd like to listen to the radio, too, without a hand crank. I can't plug anything in because there's no electricity. So the government didn't think that was fair either. So market failure is the concept that the market has not produced the goods and services to the people who need them. Or it's not doing it fairly or equitably. It's doing it in a discriminatory fashion. Or it's charging way too much for some people and a whole lot less to other people. And the market is failing to provide the goods and services that the people want. In this case, they're failing to provide electricity to people in rural, poor areas of the country. And that's a failure that ought not to be. So since the market has failed, and those people can vote, and they can write their congressman too, about how unfair it is that people in the city get electricity and the people in the country don't, well then, for one excuse or another, big excuse being the Great Depression, the government's idea was to come up with, in Tennessee, something called the TVA, the Tennessee Valley Authority, in which we clear out a whole bunch of land. We just clear it. We dam up this river and to get a big old pile of water, and then we push it through some turbines, and turbines turn and create electricity. And we have the Tennessee Valley Authority, which produced inexpensive electricity for a part of the United States. There's no way they're going to get cheap electricity. They're just too spread out. So if the market fails to give them electricity, whose job is it? Big G, it's not God, it's the government job to do that. Now, so the government comes into the market and the government begins to produce goods and services that the free market has failed to provide. Now, when the government runs to market failure, there is always side effects when the government begins to take on production of goods and services. And when the production of those goods and services have economic side effects, and those economic side effects bring about a condition that is as bad or worse in another way as the original market failure in the first place, then that is called government failure. Government failure is when the government tries to solve a problem, but in the midst of solving that problem, there's some sort of side effect someplace that creates a problem that is as bad or worse than the problem that they were trying to fix in the first place. If I was just to speculate, and I don't think this maybe happened, I haven't read that it happens, but I suppose maybe there was some fish hatchery or something downriver, or some sort of farming that was going on that needed the natural water flow, and now it's all dammed up. That can't, we've lost part of our industry, or we've lost part of our environment because of that dam, and it has changed the environment. Then that negative side effect, it's called an externality. That negative externality is called government failure. Let me just take it out of economics for a second. Let me just give you a completely different analogy. Let's say that I'm walking down after class, and I get to the last step on the steps out here, and I step on it wrong, and I just hit the end of it, and my foot goes down, and it twists at the ankle, and it hurts, and I go all the way down to the floor. Poof. And I get back up, and ooh, does it really hurt? It kind of swells up a little bit, but it goes away after a while. And then I go home, and I go to sit down at the table at dinner time, and I turn my foot just the wrong way. It really hurts again. Wife says, "Hey, what, you okay?" "Oh, I'm fine." "You don't look fine." "What happened?" "Oh, I just tripped over a step or something when I stepped off the curb or something." "It's okay?" "Yeah, it's fine." Then I get up from the table and I go to walk. Oh, there it goes again. "Sweetheart, you better get that checked out." "Okay, to make the wife happy. Okay, I'll go do that." And I go to the doctor. He says, "Oh, yeah, it's just a little sprain here. Take these pills. It'll be fine." So I take the pills, and the pain goes away, and it gets better. But when I'm walking along, all of a sudden my foot goes numb, and it goes like this. My foot just kind of goes numb like that. So now I go back to the doctor and say, "Hey, how you doing?" "I'm fine." "Does the pain go away?" "Yeah, pain goes away, but my foot goes a little bit." "No." "Oh, yeah. Well, on the side of the bottle it says it does maybe mess with some nerves there. It's not permanent damage, but we better take you off that medication because that's not good for your nerves here. Your foot's not supposed to go like that." Right? Now, This problem of the foot not walking when it's supposed to walk is a different disease than the sprain that I got in the beginning. So when I went back to the doctor to fix something, he was fixing an iatrogenic disease. Now, that's a medical term, but it's the same concept as government failure. Did he fix the pain in my ankle? Yes, he fixed the pain in the ankle. I can walk around. But now the thing goes flippy-flop all the time. It just flops there like a big flapper. And I don't want that. That happened to be a side effect of fixing the prior problem. Iatrogenic diseases are doctor-caused diseases. Doctor-caused diseases, just like government failure, are government-caused economic distress. In other words, the cure turns into another separate, different, but equally bad problem in the economy. Once again, market failure is when the market does not provide what at least some constituency says that the market needs to provide in order for it to be fair. When government steps in to fix something, and they fix it, but their fix creates a different and equally bad problem, then that is called government failure.